I can say that I don't think outside of a division game I've ever seen the same quarterback on a different team. So it'll be interesting.
Is what Cincy does offensively pretty transferable to Cleveland in terms of having this short week to prepare?
I would say that Joe Flacco's been playing this game for a really long time, and he's been in a lot of different systems, so I would bet that he would have no problems picking it up, even in a short period of time. I think the hardest thing for them is going to be just the nuances with your cadence, your snap count, the rapport you have with the other players. Now he's pretty fortunate; he's got some good guys to certainly throw to. So, yeah, I think either way, whoever the quarterback is, you gotta go against what they've traditionally put on film over a long period of time.
What is it like from your perspective, though, when you're preparing for that Bengals offense you've seen on tape, and now you're plugging in a quarterback you've already seen for a different team into that system?
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's gonna. There might be a few nuances here and there that Joe and Zach talk about, and things that he likes that they may implement. But I think all in all, it's going to be what they've kind of done.
Have you had a game before where your opponent that week had a significant transaction on a Tuesday that was going to...
I'm trying to think. There's nothing that comes to mind, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. But I certainly was a little surprised yesterday.
Now, what did you find out about your team when you looked at it during the bye, and what will that do going forward?
I think, the number one thing, even whether it's win or loss or tie, I don't think we've put together a complete game playing 4 quarters of complementary football, which is a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's great, the fact that I think we're far from our best football, so there's a lot to improve upon, and certainly it's always, that's what you're always striving for, is to get that figured out.
With Flacco, is it apples and oranges that he's coming from the Browns to the Bengals, or is there anything you can glean from the previous time you saw him?
Well, there's always things within a person's game that you can, go against, but I think more than anything else, you got to prepare against a scheme, and like I mentioned earlier, they've got 2 guys on the perimeter that are as good as it gets in this league. So you got to make sure that you do a great job knowing where they're at and contesting what they do so well.
Matt, how do you get your special teams playing effectively?
Well, I think it's more than anything not giving up the big play. And I'm talking about, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and BS you guys in regards to, I don't always understand how some of the statistical things that they categorize and the DVOA behind all that. I do know that catastrophic plays, like if you give up field goal blocks, it weighs heavily against you. So I think if we can clean up and not have, which is obvious, you can't have the catastrophic plays because they make such a big impact on the game of football. It's no different than a turnover on offense or getting takeaways defensively.
What do you think's been missing that those plays are happening? Because,
we haven't executed very well, quite honestly. I mean, if you look at it, we got punked.
do you need more practice time on special teams? Do you need more?
I don't think so. I just think, obviously, we did some reshuffling and played some guys that are just, reshuffled the line a little bit and put some different guys in different positions, and I thought it was definitely better. It's just a shame that it happened again 2 weeks in a row.
How much has it helped you in the past when you've had a guy on your roster who recently played for an opponent you're playing, and especially in this case with having it being a quarterback in Cincinnati now, what can you get from that, and how much does it help you?
I mean, there might be a few nuggets in there, but ultimately it's about our ability to go out and execute and their ability to go out and execute. I think it's so overrated, personally. Like, other staffs where you know exactly what other people are thinking. I think it's more impactful when you have coaches that from one year to the next go to another staff than it is a player.
So you don't think Clifford was here for quite a while, obviously. You don't think that, whether it's play calls or language, you don't think that matters a whole lot?
Well, unless they got a earpiece in our huddle and know exactly what we're doing, it's not like we have a ton of signals and this, that, and the other. I mean, they're going to get as much and or more from watching the tape as they are going to be from Sean. And Sean's got a great football mind too. There's no disrespect for him. I just think that's a storyline more for the outside world than it is for guys, in the building. It's no different. We played Dallas a couple weeks ago, and it's not like, Micah had a few nuggets for us, but it wasn't anything earth-shattering.
When you talk about still looking for 4 full quarters, except for maybe week 1, between the camp you had in August and through those games, you have to have all your runs on offense. I mean, that's got to make a difference in terms of playing all 4 quarters, right?
Yeah, I think so, but it really doesn't matter. Nobody cares about that, so it just go get the job done, bottom line. So we got to figure out a way how to do that, because that's football and that's this league, and I don't think many teams out there have everybody available every week.
As you go to the second half, though, don't you think you're close to that now, finally?
Yeah, but there's a lot of ball in front of us, so that's why I think you got to continue to focus on just the day-to-day and trying to make those incremental improvements, and guys got to be ready when their number's called. So that's why you can't relax for 1 second thinking I'm not going to get in there. You better be preparing equally as hard as that starter is.
How nice was it to see Christian back out there, knowing the work that he's put in?
That was awesome. Yeah, here's a guy that's so impactful. There's very few that are as big and strong and as fast as Christian Watson, and then you combine the fact that he's got a brilliant mind. I mean, the things he can do in game, I don't think anybody can truly appreciate in regards to, hey, you're the Z on this play, and then you're going to F on this play, then you're going to X on the next play. His ability to process and get out there and get aligned correctly and know what everybody's doing is pretty remarkable.
He's told us for a while that he's felt 100%. He's felt like he could go out there, and you've told us, well, sometimes you have to hold the player back. How much of it, knowing the 21-day practice window, was it of him feeling well and you guys feeling like, okay, now's the time?
Yeah, I think there's just certain criteria that the medical staff is going to go through before we allow a guy to get out there, and certainly it's a long-term play.
Do you guys do a big self-scout in bye week, or is that the thing you do every week, or?
Yeah, I think that's another probably misnomer around. I think most teams, if you're staying up on it, you're consistently doing that. The one thing I would tell you, though, I think it allows you and affords you more time, obviously, to go back and watch everything and to really, you see something on a report, because I'm all for analytics and the information. I think it's great, but I think it only tells you, it's only telling you the end result. It's not telling you the why behind either we're having success in this or we're not. So I think you always got to go back to the tape and really study the tape, dive into the tape. And I think when you do that, it just, a lot of times you're watching and you're like, okay, we showed this on tape, and you start thinking of other ideas that you can play off of different things that you may or may not have put on tape, and that's for every phase.
And will you keep Christian to individual stuff for the next little bit, or will he start to do some team?
I think just every day he'll start to do a little bit more.
What's the plan for Zach Thomas in terms of not having a repeat of a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, he's doing well right now, so he'll be limited, and we'll see where he goes.
I mean, do you have to, I don't want, make him go up against rushers, or is there anything you can do?
Yeah, we'll be in pads today, so I think that'll be a good test to see exactly where we're at.
Two more, please.
Is Elton close to being back, or?